And we are off. This is Celeste of Astrology by Celeste. Let me record a backup because Mercury is getting ready to go retrograde. Well, hello. This is Celeste of Astrology by Celeste. And today I'm going to talk about the Cancer full moon. And yes, so before I start that, I just want to give you an announcement that there are two things in the description that are tools that can really help you sync with the moon. One is a digital calendar. I'm collaborating with Wise Skies Collective, and you can go, there's a code for $15 off where you can purchase a digital calendar and have all the moon phases pop up on your phone or tablet or desktop, all of them. And then I'm also an affiliate for Lunar Rhythms, which is this beautiful wall calendar, which is a whole year at a glance with all of the moon phases, as well as it has, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it has all the dates for the new and full moons, the dates and times for the new and full moons, and information on eclipses and whatnot. So that's a lovely calendar as well. So that's in the description. Okay. Well, I hope 2022 is treating you okay so far. We are in a wild time. We have all been incarnated at this time for a reason. And we're going to use the moon to help us connect inward, understand how we're feeling and dealing with all of this turbulence, and work to stay grounded. Okay, let me share my screen. And present. So I'm taping this on the day that Mars squared Neptune, and I just saw that there was this horrible helicopter accident in Philadelphia. So hoping that, there are no fatalities, and wishing all the people traumatized by that event, wishing them well, and as for speedy healing. Okay, so we're going to talk today about the love within for this Cancer full moon, which is happening on Monday, January 17th, and 3:48 p.m. Pacific time at 27 Cancer. And I'm a Cancer rising, so that is one of the reasons I so connect in with the moon. It rules my whole chart and really supports my Taurus sun, and kicks it up a little bit with my Aries moon at times. But yes, we are going to talk about the energy of Cancer. Apologies, that just kind of, seeing that news is just so sad. Okay. So this is where you can find Astrology by Celeste. You can go to my website, astrologybyceleste.com, and there you can subscribe to my newsletter. I send out a year with a new moon, a month, with new moon and full moon guidance. I also share special goodies with my subscribers and provide them updates on all the events I'm doing and whatnot. So join the Moon Mastery waitlist. It's launching in February 24th, I believe is the first day of class. It's Thursday. I'm going to be teaching at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So mark your calendar. It's going to be a 5-week course, but you'll be hearing about it. And if you're on my newsletter, you'll definitely be in the know. You can book a personal reading to help you surf the energies of 2022. And you can, or an event if you're hosting an event. And now with being in semi-lockdown, depending where you live, we can do it on Zoom or a coaching program if you really want one-on-one coaching to really connect in with your goals and set a framework to achieve them into 2022. I'm on Instagram Live every Sunday and Monday. Okay. Well, this quote I really love. I don't know who Kirk Hayes is. I think he might be an author, but there are several Kirk Hayeses. It doesn't matter. Oh, who he is. He had a great quote. It takes time to get foundations established, but you can't grow an oak tree without planting an acorn. How perfect for a full moon in Cancer. This really embodies both the moon in Cancer and the sun in Capricorn archetypes. Yeah, I just love this. Cancer rules family, home, family, foundations, ancestry, our most private self. And there's another Kirk Hayes who's like someone at LinkedIn or something like that. It could have been him who said this, but whoever he is, I really appreciate this quote. So this is the agenda. We're going to talk about the archetype, the moon phase family, the anatomy of the chart, and what it means for you, and then some full moon prompts. So the luminaries and their signs. So I call the Capricorn Cancer axis the axis of foundations, Cancer, and legacy Capricorn. It is, so if we look at the cardinal axis, the ascendant is the rise. It's where it's the point. If the doctor was to run out to the eastern horizon, it's the point that's rising over the horizon where the earth meets the sky, where the ground, where the earth meets the heavens at the moment of your birth. Mercury is getting ready to station. I barely can talk. And the midheaven is the reach. In a natural chart, it is Capricorn. The descendant is the rest. It's where the sun sets, where the sun is going to set on the day of your birth. No. Yeah. It's where anyway, sunrise, sunset is ascendant and descendant. Anyway, the rest, and Cancer is the root. Apologies. Mars is squaring Neptune today. I have some business taping this on the day Mars squares Neptune, but we're going to keep going. Yes, we are. This feeds my Aries moon to do this tightrope stuff where I record directly to YouTube. So there's no going back. So we're just going to keep it moving. Apologies for any confusion that happens, or if I say something wrong, just know Mars is squaring Neptune, Mercury is getting ready to station. I may misspeak at some point. Use your common sense and intuition, or ask me a question if you think I said something that didn't make sense. Please, you can ask me a question in the comments. Okay, or email me. Okay, so we know the sun is our conscious identity. It's our essence. It's the life force. It's the outward expression. It's the yang force. And the sun is in Capricorn. We're in Capricorn season, which is a time to set intentions about our legacy. So I hope you watch the Capricorn video and you go to the link in my bio, and you can download the setting intentions guide. There's the place to set intentions. There's worksheets for each of the months. And then, at the first quarter moon, full moon, last quarter moon, really commit to like reflecting back on where you started and where you are now. So some archetypes for Capricorn: the entrepreneur, the builder, the old soul. It rules ambition, tenacity. Capricorns, it's an initiating earth sign. So leadership is often a quality people with strong Capricorn energy have. Responsibility is ruled by Saturn, the teacher, karma. And Saturn is the stern teacher who kind of sits on your shoulder telling you what you should do. For people who have strong Capricorn energy or Saturn energy. I have Saturn next to my sun. Yeah, that yapping about what you should do. Should is a Saturn word. Yeah. Now, on the shadow side, it can be ruthlessly working to obtain one's goals without any consideration for other people. It can be very cold. Yeah, unyielding or a workaholic that, that neglects those, family obligations or the most private self in the pursuit of status, material things like that. And the moon is our subconscious world. It's our emotions, our feelings, our habits, our instincts, our behaviors. And Cancer is cardinal water. It's an initiating water sign. It's the nurturer, it's the counselor, it's the mother. It can also be the mystic. There's an intuitive nature to Cancer energy. People with very strong Cancer signatures can be they just know what you're feeling, know what you're thinking without you saying anything. Empathetic, sentimental, helpful on the the high road, but the shadow side can be very moody. The moon changes signs every 2.5 days, and sometimes people with strong Cancer energy, it's like this up, down, up, down, up, down. Guilt inducing, saying things to you to make you feel bad or feel sorry for them or things like that. And conflict avoidance. The Cancer is the crab, moves side by side to avoid conflict, if you see how a crab moves, but then occasionally, pow, the claw comes out, and it can be really, really stinging and painful. So the moon phase family, these are these 27-month cycles where you can work with them, and in addition to the monthly cycle where we have that 29 days to work with, the waxing and waning moon in a month. There's also, there will be a new moon at a point 9 months later. There'll be a first quarter moon where you can course correct very near the new moon. 9 months after that, the full moon, then the last quarter moon, and then a new cycle starts again. So larger stories evolve during this 1.5 to 2.5 year cycle. So the new moon of this cycle was not a solar eclipse. It says solar eclipse here. I'll fix that. It was a new moon. It was just a regular old new moon at 28 degrees Cancer on July 25th, 2020. So think back to then. What was going on in your life? It was kind of the pandemic. We were, it was ongoing. If you weren't that in tune to the astrology, knowing it was going to last the whole year, maybe you were very, feeling this constant hopefulness to get out of lockdown and then going back in. I mean, it was just a lot of turbulence. And this was when people were figuring out or just starting to get used to, those that can work at home, who had worked in the office, maybe starting to find a rhythm to this, their lives being upended by the pandemic. So just think back to that. And then did anything become clear? Now, notice the first quarter moon moved because it's, when we have things so late in the sign, 28 degrees, there's only 29 degrees in each sign. So 0 of Leo is 2 degrees later than that new moon. And when they change signs, it's really interesting. There feels like there's almost this, the universe is helping us with them, with something. So Cancer about the sensitivity, the root, and Leo about how we can still find joy despite and everything that's going on around us. And so that first quarter moon in Leo was in April of 2021, where we're still in lockdown, off and on, depending where you live. But people were learning how to thrive despite it, and starting to move out in the world again. Some people never put a mask on or did a thing, but I'm talking about in general what people may have experienced. That think back to what was going on in at that first quarter moon in Leo. And that was a really cool time. That was a great time because we had that new moon in Aries and then that first quarter moon in Leo. So there was this, the astrology year starts in Aries season. So there was just this like real push forward at that time in 2021. Think back about that. And then 9 months later, here we are again with this Omicron running rampant. People are spending more time in their homes again. There is a lot of unease with what's been going on. The Saturn-Uranus square of December was off the hook. There's just been one thing after the other. And really understanding that, this may just be endemic. Our lives have changed. We have to figure out how we can live with these variants, how we can just keep it moving forward, how we can try to not let the outside forces take away from our internal sense of safety, stability, and grounding. And in 9 months from now, the sun will be in Libra, so shining a light on our relationships. It really will be a great time to look back to what happened over that, that 27 months are your relationships, especially like if you're married or live with someone, how those relationships have strengthened or crumbled or what have you through this unprecedented time. Okay, so this is the full moon chart. I'm getting all somber with this. Anyway, this is the full moon chart. Now, something that I like about this chart, so in our own lives, the sun Pluto conjunction opposite the moon. So when I feel like when you are having a Pluto transit on your like ascendant, especially, it also can be on your sun. It's restructuring you, but you can feel empowered. It's like the power is on your side. It's merging with your identity, with your energy, with your essence. So how can you use this to feel empowered? So we set our goals about how we want to move forward in this life, what we want to materialize, what we want to manifest, what we want to achieve. So take an opportunity to feel into your own personal power as you look back on these last couple of weeks or this last year and a half and think about how you have grown, what you have achieved. And the thing to do is to watch out for emotional reactivity. Full moons are emotional. When the sun and the moon are as far apart as they can give us objectivity though. So practice being the observer and illumination they give us. So yeah, really watch your emotions. With Pluto, it's very primal. It's subconscious. It can like bring up a desire to have power over people or obsess about things. So just really, really watch how you feel over the whole week of the full moon and actually the rest of the month. The rest of this lunar cycle till it's the new moon in Aquarius on the last day of the month. Okay. So sun sextile and moon trine Ceres. So Ceres had been retrograde. Well, now Ceres is direct. And Ceres is the asteroid that rules the harvest. It's about parenting, the parent-child relationship. It's at 28 degrees of, 27 degrees of Taurus. So it's right near the fixed star Algol. So again, this can be some kind of intensity. So I think of this as, using that Pluto, the power on your side, an opportunity to reparent yourself. If there's, everyone, no matter how great your parents were, sometimes there is a need to feel like you have to do some parenting of yourself. Really practice. I think self-love is one of the biggest things about this full moon we really need to work with, because Cancer is the foundation, the most private self. If you don't love yourself, how will anyone else love you? So really work to, no matter what shortcomings you feel you have, make amends for anything you've done that you need to make amends for, practice forgiveness with yourself, and work to really, really feel some radical self-love for yourself. Now, Ceres, especially when people have Ceres afflicted in their chart, and by afflicted, I mean there's a square to it, or there can be a conjunction, or there can be a opposition with Ceres, especially for people who have strong Taurus and Virgo energies, especially can struggle sometimes with this disordered eating, whatever the case may be. So if you have this problem, now that Ceres is going direct with the moon opposite Pluto, really make sure that you are grounded and centered, and that you are, working with your tools to prevent yourself from doing anything that harms yourself, especially like, something like bulimia, like cutting as well, could be something that could flare up for people at this full moon. So really take care of yourself if this is something you struggle with. Mercury's going retrograde, and it is already causing trouble. It is in the shadow. It's a real call to slow down, double check your work, reread any email, slow down walking, slow down driving. I think this is going to be in a particularly nasty Mercury retrograde. Sometimes they can be cute, like I am not a cat. If you remember that from the last time Mercury was retrograde in Aquarius, where that lawyer was on Zoom and it looked like he was a cat. Now that was funny. But I think there may be, we just saw a helicopter crash, it's going retrograde on Friday. So Mercury is moving very slowly. So yeah, really very important to slow down. Think before you speak to avoid conflict, miscommunication, misunderstandings. And it's really, Aquarius is the sign of the vision. So take some time to reflect on your vision. What is your why? And be prepared for electronic glitches. I got stuck in an elevator on Saturday, I think it was. Oh, no, Sunday for a few minutes. And then my computer has been doing all kinds of goofy stuff. And it's just, you just need extra time. Get to meetings early. Get to work early. Yeah. So another reason I think that this is going to be especially nasty. Mercury is going to station retrograde at 10 on Friday. Friday the 14th of January until February 3rd. Okay, so I'm skipping to Uranus. So Uranus is stationing. So when planets station, they like slow down and then change directions. So it's going to go direct. It's been retrograde for several months. And so Uranus rules, it's the higher octave of Mercury. So having Mercury retrograde during, when this full moon happens, Mercury will already be retrograde. I'm recording this before the fact, but yeah, Mercury will already be retrograde, because depends when you're watching this, whether it's retrograde or not. But anyway, Uranus is stationing at this full moon. You can see this S here. And so that it intensifies the nature of Uranus. And this square, the Saturn-Uranus square, which was a big story of 2022, where we had unexpected structures breaking down, delays, frustrations, like on a big scale. We've seen things like those people who got stuck on I-95 in Virginia for a day, some people 24 hours. We had this cable car just stop, not cable car, tram in New Mexico, where people were stuck in freezing cold weather after work, leaving a restaurant that you had to take this thing on, like a ski lift kind of thing, but it's a tram, I think is what it's called. for hours. I think they were stuck up there for 9 hours. There was a bunch of people died in Pakistan. So there is just all the airline delays around Christmas. And they're still recovering. Now there's not enough staff. This is Saturn Uranus was part of the Great Resignation, where people are like, take this job and shove it. But it's also about, you know, lots of people have COVID, so they're not going to work. So then, you know, it's just a calamity. Is Saturn Uranus can cause these calamities. So anyway, Uranus is stationing direct, which means we can see some Saturn Uranus things over the rest of the month. And it's stationing direct sesqui-square Mars. So sesqui-square is, you know, it's called a minor aspect, but it's still a hard aspect. So you see Uranus here, and you see Mars in fiery Sagittarius. So really be careful with fire. There was this horrible fire in New York City, in the Bronx, where somebody's space heater malfunctioned and over 19 people, I think, are dead. So just be especially careful with fire. Don't leave candle burning. Make sure there's nothing blocking your heaters. You know, heaters need to be attended. Be careful cooking with oils or things like that. Okay. But on the bright side, there can be urges for freedom and excitement. So it could really jizz you up, this Mars Uranus. But impulsivity and reckless behavior can bring severe consequences. Uranus is, you know, someone driving drunk, getting in an accident, losing their license, winding up in jail. I mean, just like, yeah, really big stuff. Or you trip, you're rushing around and you trip and break your arm. Yeah. So just be aware that it's good to do all the time, but especially with this energy, slow down, don't rush. That song, Don't Rush, it was it was a big, like on TikTok and Reels, everybody was dancing to Don't Rush. Think about that song. Okay, I'm talking too slow. So Neptune conjunct Pallas Athena. So look, they're both at 22-21 Pisces. So this is about a connection with the mental and imaginative processes. So make sure to make space for creativity. I would highly encourage you to just, even if it's just 10, 15 minutes, take some time for a full moon ritual where you just let your mind be free and let creative thoughts come in. And yeah, you can come up with some really great stuff, especially for your business or your work. With this, have some music, add some music to your ritual that embodies the mood you want to feel. Yeah, Pallas Athena, that was Zeus's daughter. Yeah. So again, this relationship, this like thought about parenting and reparenting yourself. Okay. So this is a Sabian symbol for the full moon, not new moon. I knew I was going to make a mistake on the slides. My apologies. And I've reread them like 3 times, but I'm just going to blame Mars square Neptune and Mercury retrograde coming, the retrograde period. Anyway, we're in the full moon. And recall that Elsie Wheeler, this was in the 1920s when she sat under a tree with Mark Edmund Jones. So the Sabian symbol for this full moon is not politically correct. It's an Indian girl introduces her college boyfriend to her assembled tribe. And by Indian, I'm pretty sure she meant Native American, but we're just going to not worry about that. And this picture is also kind of offensive, but it makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, this is a Sabian symbol, but I think it's really a call because a shadow of Cancer energy can be being nativistic, like being so entrenched with your own country, family, group, tribe, whatever, that you almost feel like no one else matters. No one else has meaning. No one else has value. And then you just snuggle into that, that core group. This is a call to broaden your horizons. Like, embrace people who are different from yourself. As you learn new things with Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces, like this compassion for the other, this empathy for other people, and also Mars and Sagittarius, interest in other people. And take some actions to learn something. Be open to new information. Learn something about someone else. This is the last full moon with the North Node in Gemini, taking in new information, South Node in Sagittarius, releasing entrenched dogmas. So think about that with this new moon. And I thought this woman looked somewhat, she's just beautiful. Anyway, it embraces what this thing says. Don't blame me. Elsie Wheeler said this in the 1920s. Okay, let me pull the cards. Okay, so when we have a full moon, we have two houses of our chart activated. The sun shines a light on one house, and we release from the opposite house, or emotionally connect into the opposite house. I'm going to use the Queen of the Moon Oracle for this. This is so interesting. Oh, I was in such, my energy was so high yesterday, and maybe it's this Mars. Yeah, Mars, Neptune kind of fatigue. I'm feeling some kind of fatigue today. Okay, so we're going to start with Aries, and you can listen for your sun and rising sign. You can also listen for your moon if you want, especially if you were born at night. The moon may more connect into you, what you might want to do moon rising. It's called sect in traditional astrology. Okay, we're going to start with Aries. So Aries, this Cancer full moon is going to be in your fourth house of home, parents, family, foundations, your most private self. So this is a really good time to do some shadow work. The sun will be shining on your 10th house of career, your legacy, you in the outer world. So it's a really good call for you to balance these two. Connect in with the love you feel for yourself. Connect into that with what you're trying to achieve. Are these things really something you feel devotion towards? At the time of the full moon, Vesta, the asteroid of devotion, will be in the sign of Capricorn. You can see here, Vesta will be at 3 Capricorn. Mercury still retrograde. So it's a really great time to assess, are you working to achieve these things because they really matter to you, or are you just trying to impress the Joneses or something? This is a good time for some inner work for you. And the card you're getting is, oh, how interesting, protection. Cancer energy is the protector. So yeah, think about how you can protect yourself, how you can protect others. Yeah, protecting yourself from anyone who's harmful to you or anyone who has harmful energy, I think is really a call with this. Let me see if there's anything else I want to say about that. Yeah, and think about how your higher power is a loving and protective energy. Really good time to identify your fears and trust in yourself. Okay, I'm not going to put them back. Let every sign will get a different card. Okay, Taurus, third house, family and communication, siblings, like extended family in your early life. But think about networking maybe is another third house topic. Short distance travel. Okay. I love this flower moon, it says on here, blossoming. Yeah, so think about like how you hold yourself back with your communication. Uranus is in your sign, helping you have an awakening. So think about how you can blossom and let yourself thrive. So the North Node is coming into Taurus, and that is going, the North Node is a point of gains. So get ready for unexpected treasures to come into your life with that, or people to be brought into your life to help you grow potentially. And they may not always be comfortable, but it's necessary. Okay, Gemini, second house of money, possessions. You can think about your income. You can also think about what you really value at your core, at your foundation. You may come up with some realizations. So make sure, Gemini, to do a ceremony. Writing with Gemini and air sign. This is a great time to just do some free form writing, and something will be expressed probably around this topic as you do think about Cancer, full moon stuff. For Cancer, it's in your first house. Think about what you want to release, what you want to burn off with old stories as well for all of these as well. Yes. And the sun is shining on your house, seventh house of relationship. So you can look at the opposite house for where the sun is shining. You can take a picture of this screen if you so desire. Okay. Cancer, this is acceptance. This is what self-love is all about. Yeah, could you let yourself just accept who you are as you are? You may need to accept some things about your partner that you maybe don't like, but focus on the love you feel for them. Yeah, really try to maintain some balance between yourself and your partner. I love that. Acceptance. Leo, this is a 12th house. The 12th house is the house of secrets, house of self-undoing. Mysticism comes here as well. Also, yeah, think about spirituality. Think about your mental health. Let's see, the 12th house is mental health stuff. Your card is fear. So as well, this is a good time to really take some time to really think about what your fears are. Are they real fears? I mean, they're real, obviously, if they're your fears, but are they based, is it false evidence appearing real? Or is it you're letting that Pluto is running away from you, the primal fear stuff. So yeah, so take some time to examine your fears. Are they real? What are they rooted in? So you can do the 5 whys. What is the fear? Why am I afraid of that? Like, what would happen if this happened? Ask why, really think about the reality. If you're afraid of being hit by lightning, I mean, does that make any real sense? The chances, look, Google the odds. It's really highly unlikely. So think about your fears. Okay. And the sun is shining, Leo, on your house of daily rituals. And your health, how you serve. So think about like supporting yourself with some rituals, like breathing. Deep breathing can help you release some fears about whatever your personal boogie person is. Okay. Virgo, the 11th house of groups, friends, hopes and dreams. Oh, the path. This is great. This is about thinking about how you can be a path maker. Yeah, I love this. Thinking about like, yeah, what this is for you, Virgo. Really try to connect in with the vision. Virgo sextiles, there's an opportunity with this. Virgo sextiles Cancer, where the full moon is, and there's a trine to Capricorn. It's an earth sign like Capricorn. So really think about your path. Do you want to be a path maker or do you want to be a follower? And it's okay if you want to be a follower and follow in other people's footsteps. But if you do want to be a path maker, get some courage to put your, you know, step forward with your goals. Get those intentions moving. Yeah, this is the planning phase. Go time is February 4th through April 29th. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Libra, this is so interesting. This is in your 10th house, and the card is the masculine. Yeah, this is a really, so the sun is shining in your house of home, family, and foundations, and the moon is in your house of career and legacy, and all of that good stuff. And it's the masculine is about like that yang energy. How are you pushing, how you push out in the world? And if you are like a real people pleaser or something like that, that can be a shadow of Libra. Think about how you can get your needs met as well. Yeah, and it's time to step forward and lead. Be the leader in your own life. You have more power than you think. Yes. Also could be a good time to learn new skills, enroll in a course. So stay tuned for Moon Mastery. Yes, yes. You can sign up for the waiting list on my website. Okay. Scorpio, it's in your 9th house of higher learning, philosophy, travel, all of that stuff. And your card is self-reflection. Yeah, so this could be your your relationship with your higher power. Maybe you can reflect on that. Reflect on your relationship with self-love. Sometimes people with really strong Scorpio energy can feel like they don't even want to be here or don't even want to be embodied. How can you get grounded and find the love in your own life and your own self again? Yeah, that's a good one for you. And the sun is shining on your house of mental processes, the 3rd house, communication. Okay. Sagittarius, the 8th house of the shadows. Yeah, this is the deep psychological processes house. Let's see what your card is. Ah, peace. How interesting. Mars is in your sign. And yeah, how can you find peace? How can you stay grounded? How can you, yeah, there can be this desire to just like have so much freedom. How can you be settled, peaceful, and secure with where you are now? Yeah, especially Sag, if you had big trips planned and all this kind of stuff, and now you can't go because of Omicron and all this mess. Yeah, how can you be peaceful and get into that inner self and release, feel gratitude for what you have? The full moon is a time to celebrate and feel gratitude as well. Yes. Celebrate any wins that you've done. Okay, Capricorn, it's in your 7th house. Sun is shining on your 1st house and the moon is in your 7th house. So the opposite of Cancer. Oh, boundaries. So this is about having healthy boundaries for yourself, between yourself and your partner. Capricorn can kind of be managerial at times. So if you are one who's constantly telling your partner what to do and they're getting just about sick of it, really try to think and reflect and work on how you can improve and have healthy boundaries. Or if you are too people pleasing or something yourself, really work on that. How you can secure your foundation by having healthy boundaries with someone else. Aquarius, your card is sovereignty. Yeah, how you could be how crown you. Yes, self-love. This is maybe you need a ritual to remind yourself how wonderful you are, especially Aquarius, if you have feelings like you're an exile or an outsider. This is the sixth house of daily habits, daily life and habits. Maybe you need something to remind yourself how much power you have in your own life. Yes, yes. And last but not least, Pisces. This is in your fifth house of the things you do just for the joy of it, the house of creativity and love, that fun love of date and like when you're just starting to date someone and you feel all of those, wonderful butterflies and all that stuff. Ooh, how interesting. It's the hunger. I don't know. This might be a good full moon for you to get your freak on with your partner or whatever. Yeah, the hunger. What do you really, really desire at your core in order to bring yourself joy? Yeah. Bring yourself joy. And with that series, if you have any issues around disordered eating, this is a great time or compulsive stuff. This is a great time to do some work on that. Think about it, write about it, and work to substitute healthier choices to whatever it is you would normally do. So I'm learning all this stuff with Noom. It's great. It says app. So I've done 3 rounds of Prolon and I'm down 11. Well, now I'm down 12 pounds. And now I'm doing Noom for just a regular life eating. So Prolon is a 5-day fast mimicking diet. And Noom is like all about psychology, which gets you to really think about stuff. And so when you're getting ready to put something in your mouth, something triggers you, whether it's a TV commercial or seeing something in the kitchen or somebody with you eating something or whatever. And then the thought comes to you about, ooh, wouldn't I like, well, for me, I want my glass of Chardonnay. And then the action. Do you go get the glass of Chardonnay? Do you go get the potato chips? Do you go get the candy bar? Or do you do something else? Pour yourself a glass of sparkling water in a champagne flute, or, have a healthy snack like hummus and red peppers, or like, what do you do? So think about the hunger, the triggers, the thoughts, the habits, and how you can self-direct yourself. Okay, so full moon ritual. Let's get this moving. I don't know why. It must be this Mars Neptune. Okay, so making space for your inner wisdom to emerge. So bring in the elements: fire, earth, air, and water. So for fire, jasmine is a great calming scent that I think would be really wonderful for a Cancer moon, as well as peppermint there's just something just beautiful about peppermint. Selenite or rose quartz are great crystals to put out. Rose quartz is all about self-love. Selenite or moonstone's another good one. I have roses on my table for where I do my rituals and stuff. I recommend journaling, quiet time, a mantra, I love me, I find love within, things like that you can tell yourself, and maybe pull some this is a perfect moon to use oracle cards. What do I need to know about this full moon? What do I need to know about self-love? All that kind of stuff. And then you can ask those same questions about these prompts for journaling, oracle cards, or contemplation. So reflect back on the Capricorn new moon 2 weeks ago. What progress can you celebrate about the goals you set? What needs to be adjusted? What do you need to release? Is there unnecessary drama in your life? I talked about emotional reactivity. How do you contribute to it? How can you be a leader if someone else is the drama queen or king? And how can you cultivate peace? Yeah. What tools or practices will support your emotional foundation? And what small actions can deepen your connection to your family, whether it's the family you come from, the family you've created, the family you've structured around yourself with community. How can you deepen connections? And then these are the resources. You can just take a picture of this page. As I said, I encourage you to go get the Setting Intention Guide. You can download it from my website. Go the goodies link in this in the description also goes right to it. There's an article on lunar gestational cycles, those 27 months lunar cycles where there's activations every 9 months. Dietrich Pessin, there's an article on Frank Clifford's site. And then you can just take a picture of the rest. I'm not going to read them out. Okay. Well, I hope this new moon treats you well. Please slow down. Please take care of yourself. Please protect your heart. Please practice self-love. And yeah, I'll be on Instagram on Sunday and Monday. Come join me there for different conversations and guidance. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful full moon.